Hey everyone. So Joe Biden has this nasty little habit where he can't stop telling people to vote for Donald Trump. And I'm not kidding. Whenever he is met with any sort of opposition, he just goes, vote for Trump. And it's pretty upsetting to see. So Eric Bradner on Twitter made a little compilation of Joe Biden doing this. This is just a few instances, though, by the way. This is not like the exclusive only time he does this. He does it all the time. But let's take a look at it.
3 million people that were deported and separated from their families.
Yeah.
We had this classification of families.
You should vote for Trump.
Families.
You should vote for Trump.
No. I'm not gonna do that.
We got to stop building and replacing pipelines. You got to go vote for somebody else.
All right, thanks so much, sir. Guys, we're gonna.
If you look at my record and you still doubt about my commitment, then you should vote for somebody else.
Why should people want to make a change, though?
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Why should they?
It's for them to decide.
Well, make your case.
I'm not going.
All right, so I mean, the first guy, what's he talking about? He's an immigration rights activist. This is who Joe Biden is saying. There's no place for you in my coalition. That's what he's saying there. He's saying like, oh, you care about the rights of these immigrants? Oh, it's too bad. You go vote for Donald Trump. You know why he says that? Of course, he knows that obviously the guy isn't going to vote for Donald Trump and so he's just like he's basically just highlighting, you've got nowhere to go, buddy, because I'm all you got. Oh, am I just as bad as Trump on a variety of things? Too bad. I'm just better enough than him on enough things where mainstream media will fight like heck to keep him as the nominee, and they will fight and say that he should be the president, even though he is virtually the same as Donald Trump on a lot of things, more things than people give him credit for. He is very similar when it comes to like seeking regime change of Venezuela. Joe Biden, exactly the same. Sanctioning Cuba, same. You would have assumed he would be good on Iran just because Obama was better on Iran than Donald Trump was. Joe Biden just said he totally for sanctioning Iran. So I'm talking foreign policy here. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, the president has a lot of control over foreign policy. So I feel like it's not talked about enough regarding the presidency. I feel like a lot of times just because it's a little harder for people to wrap their minds around, just because it is like it's a huge learning curve to talk about foreign policy. But Joe Biden and Donald Trump are virtually the same on most foreign policy issues. And then obviously everything domestic, I mean, most of that has to go through Congress, and so there is that element there. So obviously it's still important what the president believes regarding domestic issues, but like I would argue that foreign policy stuff should be the highlight. That should be the focal point of what we're looking at when we're talking about the presidency. If we're talking about like Senate or House of Representatives, that's a different story. But regardless, so this first person, immigration rights person, Joe Biden says, get out of here. Second person, he was talking about climate change. Joe Biden says, get out of here. What was the third person? The third person was talking about I think that was like a labor person. That was a person like advocating for like stronger labor movements. Joe Biden's like, go vote for someone else. And the last person was like, oh, just make your case for the people that say you're not very good. And he's like, I'm okay. I don't need to make my case. And because he knows that his appeal is literally, my name is not Donald Trump. That is literally it. That is literally his only appeal. And like you have these people like Mehdi Hassan who claim to be on the left and who just say who are literally like pining for just anything that isn't Donald Trump, even if it's George Bush, even if it's Joe Biden. They don't care. They just want Donald Trump. That is this like when people talk about Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, that is literally case in point when people are asking for George Bush to come back. That it is so ridiculous. And Joe Biden, he knows that he doesn't have to be better than Trump, and he doesn't need to really make a case for himself because that's his only appeal. His appeal doesn't come from who he is. His appeal comes from who he isn't. Which is but it's just so whenever. So if you are considering voting for a third party, this election cycle, and somebody gets on you about like, oh, by not voting for Joe Biden, you're actually voting for Trump. Please remind them that Joe Biden is the only person between the two of you to actually tell someone to go vote for Donald Trump. Like, please remind them of that, because Joe Biden literally tells people to go vote for Donald Trump. He does this on a semi-regular basis, more often than I've ever done it. He's done it more times than I have. And Joe Biden just, I mean, that's inexcusable. that is inexcusable. Especially, and like, why is no one calling him out? Why are none of these moderates calling him out for like telling people to go vote for Donald Trump? Like, they literally, it's all the Democratic establishment. Their literally only like argument for Joe Biden right now is voter shaming. It's just voter shaming. Like, oh, if you don't vote for our guy, you're voting for Trump. You're voting for a fascist. You're voting for a Nazi. There's literally like their only argument right now because they know just how bad Joe Biden is. And it's just, it's so weird to me that the only case that's being made, even by the guy, he's literally just saying like, oh, he's literally not even trying to make a case for himself. And obviously, I'm sure people are going to pull up stuff of, oh, dude, he actually made a case for himself here, this and there. This is inexcusable. If you are in an election, you should be advocating for why people should vote for you. The fact that he would just brush off this like immigration rights person, just say, "Oh, just go vote for Trump," it's despicable. It's that's not what we should be asking for in a candidate. And so this just a small little segment, just talking about how Joe Biden, not a good campaigner in my opinion. Like his campaign will flourish if he never talks to anybody. That is where, if he never campaigned at all, I feel like that is his best case scenario. Because literally, I think that it is all about people not liking Donald Trump. If he never campaigned, that is probably his best case scenario. Obviously, he's not going to do that because there are certain norms that we look for. But every time he talks, it's just one after another, just blunder, faux pas, everything. And so, that's a little bit of that. If you guys disagreed with anything I said in this video, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.